What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Raw review. Today we are doing December 6th, 1993. It's been a long year, both in real life, 2020, and for me trying to do these reviews. But like always, let's just get right into it. Enough of the banter, you don't want to hear none of that. Raw starts off with a recap of last week's show when Shawn Michaels returned to attack Racer Ramon, where he tried to pile drive him on the Intercontinental Championship, but the 1-2-3 Kid came out for the save. Tonight we're going to see the Raw in-ring return for HBK, and he's going to face the Kid. I wonder if they call him HBK. I haven't paid attention, and on the reviews that I write down, I always put Shawn Michaels or the whole name or Shawn. I never say HBK because I don't know if they call him that yet. Again, for whatever reason, they are burning their best match first with Shawn Michaels versus 1-2-3 Kid. Shawn was stripped of the title back in October or late September, but he still comes out wearing the title. The match starts off and 1-2-3 Kid gets some nice offense in on Shawn, followed by a dive from the inside of the ring to the outside. Left it a bit short, but Shawn was able to get in position and saved 1-2-3 Kid from hurting himself. Shawn gets a Hurricane Rana on the Kid and sends him to the outside, but then the Kid sends Shawn into the ring post. Kid goes for another dive to the outside from the apron, but Shawn Michaels reverses it into his scoop slam. The Kid goes for a crossbody from the top rope, but Shawn drop kicks him mid-air. A spinning kick gives the Kid a close pinfall. Then they bump heads and they both go down. Kid hits the reverse crossbody on Shawn for another close fall. They go to commercial as the Kid misses a swanton. Shawn then hits the Razor's Edge, and when he covers the Kid, he stops the count at 2. He hits a second Razor's Edge, and this time Razor comes out and prevents Shawn from hitting a third one. Shawn slaps Razor and gets chased around the ring to the entrance, where Diesel comes out for a cheap shot on Razor. Now Diesel just came out for a quick second. He goes back wherever he came from. Shawn then starts choking Razor Ramon with his own shirt and picks him up and hits the Razor's Edge not once but twice on the concrete floor. Refs and officials come out to try to pull him away, and Shawn eventually stops. And this, for the first time, Shawn wasn't a huge pussy. Now, sure, he got the help from Diesel and he ran away from Razor in the ringside area, but still, he showed some aggression here, so I like that. Next up, we have Johnny Polo and the Quebecers coming out to take on some jobbers, and of course, they picked up the win. They add insult to injury after the match by throwing one of their opponents out of the ring, and then they place the other one on a lawn chair that Johnny had brought out. Don't ask why. And they give him a clothesline off of it. Looked really brutal, so I give it a thumbs up. Another one here on this episode of Raw. We then get a quick interview with Owen Hart. He gets asked about what he thinks about Bret Hart winning the Superstar of the Year award. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Well, you know, Vince, that's really great for Bret. Everything's been great for Bret. But what about me? I'm the guy that stood beside him through thick and thin. And that's really great. He got an award for being the most outstanding superstar in the WWF. That's a big surprise. But you know what? I got an even bigger surprise for everybody out there, you watching, Mr. McMahon, and everybody else watching. I have a surprise that's going to make everybody talk about me. That's right, the Rocket Owen Hart.
After hearing that, this being the first time he was really featured on the show, his promo skills are already better than Bret. I wonder why they never pushed Owen as much as they did Bret, but that's probably going to be something that we keep wondering as these reviews continue. Next up, we have Doink accompanied by Dink to take on a jobber, where he picks up the win with his top rope move. He still does have a name for it after all these months using it as his finisher, but whatever. Then we get another Jeff Jarrett vignette. This one was repetitive again, where he says he's going to use the WWF to further his music career, but this one was a little more entertaining than usual. I don't know what it was. He met some street saxophone playing guy and gave him $1, told him not to forget where that dollar came from, and that when Jeff Jarrett made it big, he would take him with him. But yeah, another Jeff Jarrett vignette. I wonder when he's actually going to be making his in-ring debut on Raw itself. We then see Crush coming out to take on a jobber. Randy Savage joined the commentary over the phone for this match as well, but since I skipped to the end because it's a jobber match, I don't really know what he said. Crush drops his opponent throw first on the ropes and gets the win, almost the same way that he dropped Randy Savage on the steel barricade when he attacked him a couple weeks back. We then get a WWF commercial which got a good chuckle out of me. If you got the network, go watch it for how corny it was. The unbelievable commercial right after the Crush match. I got a good laugh out of it. And then we have Gorilla Monsoon coming out to confront Bobby Heenan. I have no idea where this is coming from, but Gorilla Monsoon takes Heenan and forcefully drags him and throws him out of the building. He salutes towards the camera. He doesn't look at it, but in the direction of where the camera and where the building was, and then he just walks away. Sad as ever. So I did some quick research to see what this was all about, and since the network doesn't have any regular weekly shows for WCW in 1994, so instead I went to the earliest pay-per-view for the next year, and there Bobby Heenan was. So this was done to write him off TV, and essentially this was the last time Bobby Heenan was ever on WWE TV in a prominent role. So that was it for the show. Let's get to the awards. For the best moment, I had the aftermath of Shawn versus the Kid with the attack on Razor Ramon. For the wackest moment, I know it's Randy Savage, but I had to give it to him calling in during the Crush Jobber match. It just didn't mean anything to me, so wackest moment goes to that. For the wackest match, speaking of, I'm going to give that to Crush versus the Jobber. For the best match, Shawn Michaels versus 123 Kid, aka Cannonball Kid, aka Six. Even though there was no finish, I'm still going to give that the best match. For the wackest performer, Crush, he just bores me to death. For the stand-up performer, I'm going to give that to Shawn Michaels. I don't think I need to add more to why for this episode. I'm going to give this episode a good rating. Thought of giving it a great rating, but it just needed like one more thing of importance for this to be a must-watch show. Again, they are using Raw by doing more storyline work as compared to purely doing matches, like they would do with the WWF Superstars or Wrestling Challenge tapings. I don't know, Raw feels a little bit different than when it first started in this year, so they are kind of moving towards these storylines and promos and out of the ring segments, which is why I enjoy wrestling to begin with. All the stuff out of the ring. I enjoy the matches as well, but if you can get me invested, that's really what I'm watching wrestling for. So, with all that being said, I'm out. I'll catch you guys next time.